something about 12-strand DNA activation. Is that something that the projector does?
Well,
or have you heard it?
When DNA strands, you have 34 base pairs per turn. You have 46 chromosomes when you're born. You have 46 base pairs per turn. Take your first breath, it's 34. It spirals down to about 6 when you hit your 50s, and you can respiral it with a receptor. Those will respiral it. Projector doesn't have anything to do with it. The projector, what it does is it shifts your time field so that, you can go into on your computer, when you have a problem with it, you can reset it back to a time when it worked.
Yes.
Okay? The projector can do that in that vein. It can reset your body back to a point where it worked. But it doesn't do anything to fix it. You can only fix it yourself. So you can reset it back to a point in time where it worked and then work diligently to fix it and to keep it maintained from there. Most people don't know how to do that, but that's one of the things that it's quite capable of doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I wear the projector for like 2 weeks, and then the receptor, I put it back on for another week, and then keep rotating it like that.
You wear the projector until you see it do something.
What do you mean?
Well, it'll do something. You want something to happen, it'll do it. Okay? It'll start happening. You wear it until it happens. And when it happens, and you'll see you have a responsibility to follow up on the happening, and you keep wearing it until the point where there's too much responsibility because there's too much happening. Then you take it off and put the receptor back on it and recharges your body.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when it stops,
once things start happening, they're going to get more and more intense. Whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll be pretty soon. It'll be overwhelming. At first, it's like you want this to happen, and then a lot of people don't believe it's going to happen, but it does. And then when it starts happening, it won't stop. It's like, these guys that get 3 wishes, and they make their 3 wishes, and then they want a 4th wish to cancel the other 3 because they didn't quite understand what the power of the 3 wishes was. You see that as a story in a lot of sci-fi movies and stuff. So it's like that. So be careful what you wish for because it will happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have people that call me, and I'll think about them and ask them to call me, and within 5 minutes, if not less, they'll call me.
They'll call you.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And if you get asked 50 people to call you, you don't have the time to handle all the telephone calls.
Right.
It's like that. Yeah, win the lottery, you'll win a bunch of them, Then what are you going to do? It's just like that's how it works. I'll try to win the lottery with one of these things in a minute. That's your goal. Do it. Go win it. Call me up when you've won a couple $1 million. I don't care, $100 million.
Okay. I will.
Oh, you think I'm kidding? Don't laugh. You be careful, because it'll happen.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I put it on yesterday, and I definitely felt something. And like little things I would think about, they would just occur. And it was just 2 or 3 times last night that something happened, and I'm like, this stuff is really like incredible.
So you're doing baby steps, and that's smart. I didn't do Mikkel didn't do baby steps. She did giant steps for 4 months, and then she had so much going on, she was crying uncle. She took that thing off and didn't wear it for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did it. After seeing what happened to her, I did it a little bit easier, and I had to take it off a couple times. And I only use it. I got one on right now. It's a little old sterling silver one with a gold bridge. Nothing fancy. I've had a gold one with platinum bridges before. I wore Wesley Snipes' as he has a solid platinum with a gold bridge that's platinum plated. I couldn't handle his. I had a headache in 2 seconds with his.
Oh
but it seems to be working for him.
It's a laser and a flashlight.
Oh yeah, those are gifts.
What does a flashlight do?
Oh, it's just a flashlight. We just give it to you. To light things up in the dark.
Do you shine?
Well, I'm serious. A little laser. It's cool. You can the little tiny little pen light laser with the little batteries. You can flash your stones and clear them out once in a while. Those are just things we give as gifts, just complimentary stuff.
No, but are they used to shine on the projector?
Well, the flashlight, the other one is, yeah.
The laser.
Little light laser, you can stick it on your keychain.
Okay, but I hear that there's benefit from putting a laser to the stones on the necklace projector.
Well, that's the SPDC.
Right, okay.
Spontaneous parametric down conversion that we talk about. But that little laser there is not designed for that. You can hit it once or twice and then it's fine. It'll work. You don't really need laser. Okay. It works on photon energy, which works off of thoughts anyway. Because when you focus on something with your mind, it generates light. That's what's called It's the aura. Hello, yeah. And the aura is not visible to people that only have a bandwidth of 400 to 700 angstrom units, or you know what I mean. They're limited in their bandwidth. But people that have a higher visual light comprehension can therefore see this higher bandwidth, and they'll see the SPDC at work. This is stuff that physicist Alan Elaine proved in generating photons in two different directions and then polarizing the one off to the right or left simultaneously at any distance, proving that teleportation is possible. In this case, we just call it quantum entanglement. Now, like I say, the government calls it a light display device. It's patent number, I got it right here in front of me, D611874, issued March 16, 2010. Got light display device. I'm just playing it right now for the newbies out there. Does the government really have an experience with this?
So the SPD process happens when you shine the laser onto the crystal and you think of something. Just thinking about it makes that connection to the SPD process?
Right, through your aura. It splits out a set of photons from you. It sets out a set of photons to whatever your target is. And then there's a third process which is not identified. And that third process is what's called the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, where you can locate where the energy is lying, but you can't know how fast it's going, or you can know how fast it's going and not know where it is. It's that simple. Okay? There's a third aspect to this, and it's not dealing with photons. It's dealing with what we call the hologram. But it's the holographic principle of the connectivity of splitting your thoughts in half and sending them to somebody else, and as long as you don't announce your thought split, and it arrives at somebody else's mind or spirit, could be all three or one of, that process is monitored by a holographic process, which is called the Heisenberg principle in physics. Okay?
Okay.
It's so verifiable. Now I've patented it. It's a blast. This stuff works.
If you have three people in a projector room, and all three are concentrating on the same thing, is it not going to work?
It works fine as long as one person doesn't tell the other person exactly what their thought process is. In other words, you can all say, okay, I want to get a candy bar tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or tomorrow afternoon. I want a chocolate candy bar delivered to my house. Okay, that's the target, just to make things simple. You do it, your girlfriend or your wife does it, and one of your neighbors does it, all in the same room, it's fine. But you don't tell
at the same time
what your method is of making that. As soon as you just expose your method, you've brought forth center the Heisenberg principle, and you've killed it.
You observed it.
You observed it, and it's dead. Don't observe it. The only thing you need to do is accept the happening. And that's what kills so many people, puts so many people into poverty without the projector, that just try to do something and they say, the universe is against me. I was born with a toad in my mouth. Whatever. It's because they're not observing their clarity, and they're using the Heisenberg principle against themselves, against their own thought process, by jinxing themselves because they think they're coming from a hard scrabble situation. You follow what I'm saying? There is no is a hard scrabble situation if you totally let everything go. And that means leaving out the negative SPDC things that other people in your neighborhood, you're living in a trailer park, for example, and everybody's kind of destitute. And so, therefore, the vibe in the trailer park is that we're all here, we've got nothing, and the government's against us, and blah, blah, blah. You allow that principle into your life, that's what your life is, because you have constantly connected yourself to that thought form. But if you say, yeah, I'm in here, I acknowledge where I'm at, but I don't accept it, this is what I'm going to do, you'll be out of there in a country heartbeat. It doesn't matter where you are, what your environment is, or who your peers are, you can do it on your own. And that's a success story of many, many people in this country that break out of the mold, people that come out of the ghetto, African-American people that came out of the ghetto that became huge stars and success and athletes because they just didn't accept where they were. And then with the projector, it just amplifies that success factor, even more. It does. Kind of cool stuff.
With the projectors, I hear that they, like, if you have one projector, it amplifies the effect by, is it a power of 10?
No, it's not. You can't use power as a measurement in quantum.
Yeah, okay.
Quantum is instantaneous. There are no power measurements. Okay?
Okay.
There's no distance measurement. Anytime you invoke a power measurement, you're invoking relativity and the unified field theory, and those don't work here. That's why Einstein called it a spooky action at a distance. There is no quantum values here. None at all.
So the more projectors you have, the more chances of it occurring, or the faster?
The quantity of them doesn't matter. The reason we have the 4 standalone systems is to make it more ironclad. In other words, if you got one that you're wearing and you want to amplify, your insecurity and cancel it, you start putting up standalones, you've got a little bit more quantum working for you and a little less insecurity working for you. And that's why people will buy the other ones. Plus, you can do a lot more SPDC because you shoot lasers into those bigger standalone units. So there is resistance to what you're doing, but those things just neutralize it. And then you can add like the white flamethrower that Steve uses, and that's another device that really helps out. You can make all this stuff work. There is quantum resistance to what you're doing. But, if you're a nobody, it doesn't matter. But if like, some big, powerful head of state or something starts to do it, he's going to create a lot of resistance, and I would highly recommend they use the 4 standalone system.
Yes, resistance from other people. You mean resistance from other people?
Yeah, other people.
Okay.
Subconsciously. The whole thing works. The whole world runs on subconscious. What works out there consciously is just what the end result. You get up in the morning, you got say 10 things you're going to do. If you're like me, you get 2 of them done. That was a successful day because 8 other things showed up that were quantum values that you had to put out the equations on. That's the way look at it that way as I do as a physicist. It makes sense.
What works for me is letting go.
Yeah,
I've heard you say that. What does that mean exactly? Just forget about it?
Well, what I'm talking about basically is that everything is let go. In other words, if you're in my room with 4 projectors, with 2, it's so powerful that your mind can take it or not take it because of the power that's in the room. So the best way to handle that is to let go of all your thoughts completely. Because when your mind is clear and you ask for things, you receive it. If your mind is filled, you're not going to receive it as fast. You might receive it later on, but when your mind is clear, you receive it right away. Fred and I have worked on that over the years, so it's a matter of letting go. Okay,
so clear your mind. Like make your request and clear your mind. Don't worry about it.
And
don't worry about it. You're killing it with worry. That means insecurity.
Right.
Your best bet is not to use any words at all.
Just concentrate.
Just concentrate on letting go.
Focus. I'd say focus more than concentrate.
Yeah.
Concentration to me is a waste of time. Focus. Just figure out what you want. And just say that's what it is.
Focus on whatever you want.
Forget it. And go do something else that has nothing to do with it. and then come back and refocus later, and then forget it. Concentration means you're not forgetting it, and that's holding it back.
So it's better to focus than to actually talk to the projectors.
Oh yeah, you don't have to talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't understand a word of any language. Believe me.
Oh, so it's mental. Okay, that's what I was.
And a factor of the power of double.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For the right metaphors, and we'll communicate here.
Awesome.
I keep on learning every time I listen to them. I keep learning all the time.
Oh yeah, me too. I've got all the BBS Fred Bell shows on my iPod, and that's all I listen to. I've listened to almost 300.
I've been shooting from the hip all my life since I was 14 years old.
What was that?
I've been shooting from the hip since I was 14 years old and never had a day where I couldn't go out and have the best meal on the planet.
Yeah.
And be with the best company. I mean, I've been through poverty, but there was always money there for a meal, you know, or money to help somebody, always.
Yeah.
You know? I was homeless. When I got out of the Air Force, I was homeless for a while, but I didn't care. I had so many people inviting me into their houses, I didn't need a place to stay, you know.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was highly educated, and I didn't know what to do with myself. Before I went to NASA, I ended up over there, but I mean, for 6 or 8 months, I just rode around on the back of a friend of mine's motorcycle because mine got repossessed because I didn't have enough money to pay the payments on it because I was trying to go to college and get some more credits and couldn't find a job. I couldn't even get a restaurant, you know, job as a busboy because I wasn't qualified. Although I had a master's degree in physics, you know, it didn't matter at the time. I didn't care. I just kept going with the flow. Got myself a mechanic's job, paid me some rent, and came to Southern California on the back of a friend of mine's motorcycle and ended up working for NASA. I mean, it's just the way it goes. It's fun. And I remember scrounging up enough money to stay in some stupid motel over in Wilmington for about a week or two. I got a job at LAX pumping gas. I met a couple of people doing that, and they just pulled me right out and set me up. You know, it's so funny.
Wow.
Been down that road. I mean, I wasn't born with a spoon in my mouth. I wasn't even born with a mouth, you know. Had to earn it.
Do mirrors, like I have my projectors in front of mirrors, or there's mirrors behind the projectors. Does that do anything?
I think it's pretty cool. I've never tried it, but I've got a lot of other stuff. I use my Firestar's got mirrors behind it. Sounds like a good idea. What do you think, Steve?
Sounds like a great idea.
Because it can reflect light.
Does it amplify? Do you think it might amplify the effects any?
It sounds like it.
If you think it does, it will.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And if I think, you know what, if I had mine set up a little different, but if mine weren't set up that way, I'd probably put mirrors behind them. It's a good idea. You get the mirror on the wall and stick the projector over the mirror. But Steve always, you know, sets them up for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can use that double-sided tape, get a mirror up, and you can probably use double-sided tape on to get a projector up because you can't drill a hole, you know, and put a screw through a mirror to hold it up. And they're not that heavy. They're heavy, but I'm sure with enough double-sided tape on the bottom of one of them, it'll stick to a mirror.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing the projector now. I just keep looking at it. I'm so excited. It's awesome. Really awesome.
You sure worked hard. I know you put your hard-earned dollars into getting one. I mean, you were on a payment plan, and you didn't have a lot of money to fool around with, and you spent a lot of money to buy one. I hope it worked. You know, I hope it pays off. I mean, you probably took a large percentage of your income and bought something you didn't even know if it worked or not, you know?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Something just told me, I don't know what it was. It's just the way things happened. I mean, the way just things occurred. It was just so odd that.
Well, that's a good word for it because, you know, object reality and logical, you know, execution of a daily plan versus things are happening weird. I go with the things are happening weird program.
Yeah, it was very weird the way I got all this, like all the stuff that, you know. I mean, it's like in a time frame of 2 weeks, I got like one standalone, one master crystal, the projector, and the star orb. And it was
I didn't plan it out that way. We're running just about
we're out
over
of time,
Fred.
We got to get out of here.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thanks for calling in,
Thank
man.
you.
And I guess we're done. We're a minute over already, but who cares? So you've been listening to Dr. Fred Bell's Health, Science, and Energy Show at bbsradio.com, www.bbsradio.com. Also, video.